Hey everybody, welcome to the Stock Car Spectacle. I'm Ian Jortson,
I'm Tom Hoplin.
and we just got done with Rockingham. The Cup Series had the weekend off for Easter, but cars will be heading to Bristol, Tennessee this weekend. But let's kick off with our diecast of the week. Tom, what'd you bring for us?
I have a bigger version of this car, but it's buried under a bunch of stuff and hard to get to. So when I think Bristol, I don't know why. I just think of this Kyle Busch scheme in the car tomorrow with the wing. I think his first race was in the Car Quest. He was still with Hendrick the first time they're in the car tomorrow. But like I don't know.
And
I
he
just
won
think
that race, the first car of
he
tomorrow
did, and
race.
then he was very upset with how the car tomorrow raced. But I don't know. It's just this car says Bristol to me. It's a tank. It needs to go in there and be a tank, and you have to be able to survive. Also, just thinking of Kyle Busch in the 18 in the Gen 5, Gen 6 era, and how just dominant he was at Bristol. That's why that car makes me think of Bristol.
Oh yeah, I mean that guy was just so freaking dominant at Bristol Motor Speedway,
Mm-hmm.
spring or fall. That guy was always on
Yeah.
top. I mean, he swept the weekend twice.
Yeah, man, I'm still kicking myself. I was in an auction battle for a weekend sweep, and I didn't want to buck up the money for it at the time, but it was way cheaper than it was listed. I could have gotten a steal on it if I just paid a little bit more money, but whatever.
Yeah, hate it when that stuff happens.
Oh well.
All right, we're talking Bristol. How about I'd have to bring out Dale Jr.'s 2014
Hmm.
Diet Mountain Dew car. I love this paint scheme. I love this diecast because it's the duct tape car.
Oh no way! That's so
Yeah,
cool.
they did this like a
And,
few years ago. I mean, it's just
uh,
kind of silly. I mean, obviously, but it's
yeah,
pretty freaking cool though.
that's
They did the duct tape on there and it's iconic.
fantastic. That is. That you always see that clip around this time.
Oh
Just the
yeah,
banged up cars.
it's Bristol, baby. All right, well, our top stories. Alex Bowman is back in the Cup Series this weekend. He will be running that 48 for Hendrick Motorsports. So good to see Alex Bowman back. I really thought that his season was over for sure with how many races he was missing, and it's vertigo. You don't know when it's gonna leave you.
Yeah, you don't know what's going to pop up again, and I think it's when they initially said he was out, they included Bristol, so he's back early, which is a good sign. That probably means he was feeling real good. But Bristol is a tough one. You just think with the visuals and trying to find your balance and how fast and how much you're turning and how much you're in the corners. So I think the only worst place, from what I would understand, would be Dover to have to come back for the first time after Vertigo. Just with how that track runs. But Bristol's a close second, and it's an interesting move. But maybe he's feeling good enough, and they still think maybe he can get up to the top 16 in points. It's going to be tough. They're saying he's going to need to make up 8 points a race on the cut line. It's not impossible. I mean, you got a bunch of people between them that are. I don't know. Maybe he can get up past Allmendinger, who's in 20th. I don't think he makes it.
Yeah, I don't see it.
I don't think he makes it.
He's in way too big of a hole. There's no way that he'll be able to crawl his way
Yeah,
into the chase.
yeah. The only way that I can think that he might have a chance to make it is if he goes on a tear and starts winning multiple races. But I don't think we've ever seen that Alex Bowman.
No, he's
Bowman's good for one or two a year at most.
and that was like a
Um,
few years ago. Now he's looking to
yeah,
get a win.
yeah, for sure. The next gen car hasn't been very kind to him. I know he's found his way a couple times, but yeah. But as other people have pointed out, he is a top 10 Hendrick driver. He is in the top 10 of Hendrick driver with wins, which
Yeah.
I was trying to think if that was a pity stat or a real stat, because I don't know how many Hendrick drivers have wins. I know they're the winningest team, but a lot like Jimmy and and Jeff have over 150 of those.
Yeah.
So of their what 230, 260 something. So I don't know if top 10 is this pity stat or not, but he can go out and win. I don't think it happens for him this year. I think he's just got to focus on putting together good races and trying to get that new contract signed, wherever it may be.
Yeah, honestly, that's the best thing for him to do is just try and race his heart out. But I mean, like, playoff hopes are done at this point. Just try and get yourself in this ride for the following years to come.
Yeah, and I wonder if not Hendrick, who wants to take in Alex Bowman when he does have this propensity to miss multiple weeks, whether he wrecks his sprint car and crashes. He gets. I mean, I feel like Alex Bowman has had an injury every year, every other year, over the past 5 or 6 years. So if you're another team who's looking, and I don't know, I'm not very clear on who the free agents are and whatnot, and what seats would be available.
Kind
But
of too early in the season to tell.
yeah, but if you're another team that's not Hendrick Motorsports who doesn't know Alex, and you're just looking at it like, well, this guy is good for 28 races a year, and that's not going to cut it because they want the points, they want the full season. Um, so whatever this is, and whenever he gets it, this is going to bring down his stock tremendously wherever he goes.
Yeah, it's just not a good look for him. When, like you said, this guy's already injury prone all the time, and now dealing with vertigo, it's
Flare up at any time.
yeah, it can come back any time, and I just don't see any team that would really want to touch that.
Yeah, it'll be tough, but we're glad he's back. He's good to have around the track. He doesn't make much noise, and he's a solid driver.
Yeah, the clean driver, and he'll always guarantee you like at least a top 15 when he's healthy.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
All right, and then next in the news, Cletus McFarland has not been approved for the O'Reilly Series race at Talladega. I kind of saw this coming. I mean, the guy doesn't even have a handful of ARCA or truck races under his belt. And I just think he just needs more time on the track in the lower series before he goes out to the big track of Talladega and possibly causing the big one. I mean, at this point, it's just a safety issue.
For sure, and it's a hard argument to make either way because you're like, well, Talladega, Daytona, they are the easier ones to drive, but we did see him lose it in the truck at Daytona. And if something, yeah, it's easier to drive, but if something goes wrong, which it could a freak incident, and suddenly you could wad up half the field and put people at risk. We've seen injuries. I mean, Eric Jones broke his back at Talladega a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Jordan Anderson, his engine just blew up, and he had nasty burns. So like anything could happen, and you just want him to build up a little bit more racecraft, and it's exactly what he's doing. And NASCAR, I think, is doing the hard thing here because they want Cletus in the races. It brings them eyeballs. They kept cutting to the stands at Rockingham, and there were so many Cletus McFarland RCR shirts out there. That's making them money. It's bringing them viewers. It's going to sell sponsorship. They're just trying to push it too fast, and that's the YouTuber's life. But they can't just let anybody who brings a paycheck and brings viewers come in here and run amok of the series. So I think it was the bigger move of NASCAR to make this decision. And they're saying like, hey, it's not never, it's just not now. So they want him to run more races. And you can tell on Saturday, he was in over his head. Whether or not he had the right mindset, it was too much for him at the moment. And you want him to just build up some more racecraft, make some better decisions and whatnot. Because the decision making at Talladega and Daytona happens so fast. And he's running well. I mean, he did a top 5 in ARCA. He was right there with the leaders the whole time. And he said he's got more truck opportunities coming up soon. So he's putting in the work.
Yeah.
And he just as a NASCAR fan, it was fascinating to see his testing videos. He's giving us that cool insight into kind of what goes on behind the scenes. He walked all the way, like I was still so fascinated how much access they gave him. And what he was showing at the test and at the race shot. I mean, he was walking through the engine builders and showing computer screens and data. Nothing was blurred out or anything. So a lot of cool stuff we're getting to see from him on that side. And I want to welcome him when he's ready, but you could tell Saturday afternoon he was not ready.
Yeah, definitely not ready. I mean, look at the route that Frankie Muniz took. He did part-time in ARCA, and then he went full-time, and now he's full-time in trucks. He's just trying to work his way up, and he doesn't even want to go cup racing. He just wants to experience what it's like to run in the
Mm-hmm.
world of NASCAR. And I really do think that's what Cletus wants to do. He said that he doesn't even want to run in the Cup Series. So, I mean, I do welcome him to the sport. Anyone's welcome in the sport to run. You just got to put in the work, and you just can't skip the line and move ahead and want to run at Talladega and pretend that you're Ricky Bobby, which I really do think that's what he wants to do, because I've been watching Cletus McFarland for probably over 10 years now. I've been a follower of his. Few years I haven't really liked his content as much, but I mean, he's got that hell yeah brother mindset, and that's what you want. I mean, his first time at Talladega or Daytona last year in the ARCA car, he was like, yeah, I felt like a freaking bald eagle ripping around there. It's like, yeah, he's having fun, but let's kind of take this a little bit more seriously, put in the work ethic, and just don't skip the line, because then you're going to piss a lot of people off and you're just going to cause a lot of trouble.
I think that the Cletus McFarland personality is getting in the way of Garrett Mitchell, if
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because he gets out of the ARCA car in that first Daytona race. During that interview, he's got a camera pointed at him. He is Cletus McFarland, but like the Rockingham test day where he was looking at data and his ARCA rate, when he gets out of the ARCA car and he's genuinely happy to run that's Garrett Mitchell. And I want to see Garrett Mitchell race these things, and it'd be awesome if he could put in the work and show up and be competitive at Talladega, but it's too risky right now. And he needs to build up more of a resume. You don't just walk into a bank and with a bunch of money and be like, I'd like to be the CEO, please. It just doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
And I'm glad NASCAR is holding their ground. I really am. Yes, it's confusing, the driver approval process, but it's also not the FIA. The FIA, you need to get licenses and whatnot. But there is opportunities for people like Cletus. If they want to put together a career, they can work towards it. But I'm glad NASCAR has guardrails in place to not just make stupid decisions and let anybody with a bunch of money get out of the track.
Yeah. I think they're just trying to like make an example really of him, and just of how it should be to get into the sport. I really do think that's what they were just trying to do.
And what I do love about the Cletus narrative that we've seen from this season and last season shows that this, as much as he said it himself, he wants to go fast and turn left. This is not easy. And it shows. He spun out 4 times. And yeah, very impressive. He didn't hit anything, didn't run in anybody. Too bad, at least. It's still hard and difficult. And he's got to learn that. And I think he is learning that. But I don't think he's just showing up to the track on Saturdays and hopping in the car and trying to do stuff. I do see him putting in the work. And so I'm not ready to go burn him at the stake or anything for trying this. Like I said, I want to see him succeed, but I like to see that he's putting in the work here.
Yeah, you did put it perfectly though. Like, we do see Garrett Mitchell when he gets in and out of the car, but when you put a camera in front of his face when you interview, there's Cletus McFarland, and there's just like the fake redneck persona and all that.
How has he made his living? That is
Yeah.
how he's made his. He's building a mansion on his own private airstrip. Like he's going to keep doing. I think. Oh, I forget who said it, but they said it might have been Dale Jr. this week. He said he's not going to make money racing in NASCAR. I mean, this is what rich people do to have fun. This is a golf game.
Yeah.
Carson Hocevar said racing on Saturdays is like his golf game. He wants to race, but it's not the pressure of the Cup Series. Cletus has found an outlet and likes to try new things. And the YouTube instant gratification, got to get the views. Yeah, he needs to go in and do as big as he can. And NASCAR says, hey, now, I understand you want to go big, but there is a process, and you do have to show us what it takes. And you've got what it takes. Because there are people here that make a living at this. And if he's putting those people at risk, I mean, they can't just throw him in the Cup Series at Daytona for the 500, because that is where the stars of your sport you want people tune in on Sundays to watch. And if
Yeah.
he, God forbid, injures somebody, injures a big name, that's really bad for all of us.
Yeah. Well, he's put in the work, and hopefully we'll see him become. I don't know. I don't know if I see him becoming a full-time driver, but I can see him coming in every now and then
No,
if he does put in the work.
he's not going to do that. I still think his goal is to run Daytona and Talladega, maybe for a long time.
Yeah.
He could be the Beard Motorsports driver, the full time Beard Motorsports driver, if you will,
Yeah. I
where
could
they
see
only
that.
show up Daytona, Talladega, stuff like that.
He'll
But
bring in the money.
exactly, he'll bring this. People want to be with him. He puts out great content. He'll advertise the shit out of you and whatnot. I don't know what Tommy's Express Car Wash is or what they paid for their thing, but I got to look one up and try to find one and go get my car wash there. Why not?
There you go.
Because that's ultimately at the end of the day what he's doing. He's bringing eyeballs and he brings money.
Yeah. All right, and then speaking of Talladega, it was announced a few days ago that NASCAR will be shortening the last two stages at Talladega to 50 laps each to combat the fuel saving strategies that we have seen at the super speedways in the past. I like it because we've seen these guys just run around for 90 some laps and they're not even racing. They're just fuel saving, just kind of hanging around doing nothing. I like this. This actually brings the racing back to super
Yeah.
speedways.
But like, you'd wish that at this point they just either get rid of the stage cautions, because that's the whole thing. If you know where these cautions are going to land, you know your fuel strategy.
Yep.
Um, they tried it at road courses, didn't really work, but try it at Talladega. Make a team. If a team wants to go and just try to lap the field while everybody else is trying to fuel save, yeah, they got to take one more pit stop. But who knows? But I guess if you're going to do this, why not just make the race what 120 laps long, 40
Yeah.
lap stints? They send them out, go get points for 40 laps, and then send them out, go get points for 40 laps. Okay, and somebody go pick up a trophy. Like, I don't know. These arbitrary breaks at these super speedways are kind of bad. The other thing that was a part of this announcement, actually forgot. It was just like shoehorned in under the Hauler Talk podcast. They're going to bring back preseason Thunder. They're doing a Daytona test session
Oh
to be
wow.
to try to test different configurations of the next gen car. So
It's been about
yeah,
since 2015, I think, that we've had like the preseason testing like that.
yeah, it's weird to do with like a spec car, but maybe it'll just allow NASCAR to tweak these things and then maybe get us the configurations of the cars we want. I mean, the
Yeah.
drivers have always said you can't pull out a line in this car and it just absolutely kills the racing. So if everybody's fuel saving and you pull out a line, you say, fuck that, I want to go run as hard as I can, and you mash the gas and pull out a line, you drop to the back. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So you'd think, yeah, they slow the cars down for safety, for insurance, whatnot. But you think if they are a little bit harder to handle, they can go a little bit faster. You need a little bit more air on the nose. They spread out a little bit more. That's also safer too.
Yeah.
If they're not so tucked in together and just moving as a school of fish instead of individual barracudas running around. So,
Exactly. Good way to put it.
so yeah, preseason Thunder, I like it. I guess make the last two stages of Talladega. It kind of just feels like it's a bad solution to a much bigger problem.
Yeah. Well, I'm right there with you. I think the number one thing NASCAR should do is just get rid of cautions at the end of stages. I think it would fix a lot of stuff that's going on here.
Yeah, TV has shown they're going to take commercials regardless.
Yeah.
So the argument that the stage cautions are for TV are just stupid.
Yeah.
The
It's
TV
silly.
will make enough money. Like if I'm watching a replay of a race, which I don't watch on the main channel or during the live because I'm working, I'm fast forwarding through the commercials if it's not a side by side. So I'm not watching the commercials anyways. TV,
Right.
you put it inside, I'll watch the commercials for you. So yeah, I'll buy my Breztree inhalers and get my Peyronie's disease checked out for you. Don't cover up green flag racing. You don't need an arbitrary caution to show me in a commercial.
I still think
Ugh.
NASCAR Chasm had something to do with the Peyronie's disease commercials that attack NASCAR, because he talked about that for years and years and years, and all of a sudden there started being commercials for it for NASCAR races.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Well, we
I,
can blame Dave for a lot of stuff.
yeah,
I
I confronted him about it. Then he said that I was violating HIPAA laws and all that. So I guess we'll just leave it at
okay.
that.
All
Yeah.
right, well, I guess we'll have to nix this part from the podcast.
No, not one bit. This is how we roll. Well, let's get into Rockingham. Like I said, Cup was off this weekend, so let's dig into the Truck Series race. We had Jake Garcia. He led the field to green, looking good for that Thor Sports truck. But it was Corey Heim. He was the talk of this race, man. He won those first two stages. That is 45 career stage wins for Corey Heim in just his young career in the Truck Series. It's
That's
incredible what this kid has done.
Yeah, he's already third on the all-time trucks list. He's 24 years old. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Corey Heim was able to win this race holding off Caden Honeycutt, but thanks to some lap traffic that got in the way of Caden Honeycutt to try and get his first career win, that sucks.
Ugh, yeah, and Corey Heim was having a problem too. That
Like
truck
2
was
laps
not,
to go, he was saying there was an issue.
it was not performing well. So it made it interesting. You had the interesting story of them passing their teammate at the end there as a lapper getting in the way. It really made that race exciting.
Yeah. And then Corey Heim and Caden Honeycutt, they are topping the boards for the standings for the NASCAR Truck Series. Corey Heim's only been in 3 out of the 5 races so far, and he's already tied in points with Caden Honeycutt. It's just absolutely insane what Corey Heim has been able to do so far.
Yeah. 3 races. Looks like he's second in the series in stage points. Third. He's third in the series in stage point. He's leading the points. It helped that 4th place finisher and my race win pick was DQ'd at the end. He was the points leader heading into this race, and he dropped down to 4th. So that I think he ended up getting 1 point that day or something. So yeah, not a good showing for the points leader. But hey, sometimes you got to push the boundaries to go fast. But whatever boundary Corey Heim is pushing is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And he's so far ahead of everybody.
Thing is, though, we keep saying, like, oh, it sucks that he's not running full time, but right now he's just building stock.
Yeah,
Honestly, that's all he's doing. He doesn't have to worry about going for a championship. Just every single race, just go out there and win.
Yeah, he's showing why somebody sponsor this guy, because I mean that 35 car, yeah, it looks good with Monster Energy on it, but Monster needs to jump ship.
It would look a lot cooler in Victory Lane, that's for sure. Because that's the kid that can do it.
The rumors that Joe Gibbs won't hire him because of a spat he had on pit road at Martinsville with Ty Gibbs a couple of years ago. It's this business is so weird. It's so weird because who wouldn't want Corey Heim? And I know Denny Hamlin's doing a hell of a job to try to keep him tied down.
Yeah.
Denny Hamlin can scout talent like the rest of. I mean, went out and got Tyler Reddick before he was even available. Probably made him an offer he can't refuse, and now you got Corey Heim just sitting in the shadows, winning races anytime he gets in the car.
Yeah. Him and Justin Marks, man, they know how to scout these guys out.
Yeah, for sure. So hopefully, if the rumors hold up, Corey Heim's in the 35 next year.
I hope
where
so.
He belongs. It would have been incredible to see a Corey Heim, Connor Zilic Rookie of the Year battle, though. Maybe that's also why they held him back another year. Who knows?
Yeah, they just wanted to give Zilic the automatic Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's roll over to the O'Reilly Series, and how about Corey Day starting off this weekend right on the pole? We have been talking so much trash about Corey Day since the beginning of this season, really since he started part-time last year. And because he was brought in with Jeff Gordon, Kyle Larson, so many good things said about this young man, and he looked like shit. He looked like one of the worst drivers we have ever seen put inside a Hendrick Motorsports car. And then he just came out here at Rockingham and looked like he's been doing this for 25 years.
I mean, he's been quietly just the past couple of weeks putting together races. I don't know what they're telling him during the week to shut out the noise or just helping him to try to figure out the cars a little better, but or maybe he just really liked Rockingham, but something has clicked in the past couple of weeks, and he is climbing the points standings, and he is looking damn good on the racetrack right now. I mean, what did we say a couple weeks in? We're like, yeah, he's making a lot of mistakes. He's doing some dumb stuff. But if Jeff Gordon and Kyle Larson see something good in him, they got to see something good in him.
Yeah, and now we're seeing it.
And this is what the series is for. It's for, as much as it's for, I don't know, people like Cletus to try to come run Talladega. It's for developing stock car pavement drivers. And Corey Day kind of looking like a championship contender if he keeps this up.
Yeah, honestly. He started on the pole and he went on to win stages 1 and 2. So just great points right there for him. Because I mean, he was a little bit in the hole, and then after Saturday, he's 5th in points right now. That's scary.
Yeah. I mean, and we know that car's good. We know it's consistent. Again, he seems to be have an upward trajectory. So the sky's the limit for him.
Yeah.
And he's got Austin Hill and Jeff Love ahead of him in the points. And I don't, though, that is just
not by
because we started
much.
the season. Exactly. That's just because we started the season with 2 super speedways, I think. I don't think RCR is as strong as the point standings suggest.
I think Jesse Love is. I really do think Jesse Love is a guy who can win at any track. I mean, he was looking really good at Rockingham up until he had that vibration and ended up in the wall.
Yeah.
Chassis adjustment for Corey Day sends him 4 rows back from the lead, and we really kind of don't see him sniff the lead after that. But it was good to see that this guy can run up front, and he can kind of run with these big dogs in here.
I was noticing during that race, it was like he'd go into the pits first and come out third, and he'd go in first and come out fourth. But then when you're leading and you're a young driver, you don't quite know what to ask for adjustments wise as the track changes as the day goes on. So they probably just weren't able to keep up with it as good as some other more veteran drivers.
I mean, those Joe Gibbs cars, William
they came
Sawalich
to
and
life.
Brent Cruz. Yeah, well, I mean, we know that Joe Gibbs Racing has the best pit crews in all of NASCAR. And I think those pit stops really helped Brent Cruz and William Sawalich really bring their way up to the front and win and go out and win this race for Sawalich.
For sure. They weren't quite there, but again, they were behind. They weren't leading the race. They knew what changes they needed to make to get faster. And I don't think Corey Day was able to communicate those changes as well. So, yeah, he was able to get the lead back in the earlier portions of the race, but then, yeah, those Joe Gibbs racing cars came to life right after we said we were last week where we were like, where are the Gibbs cars?
Yeah.
What's going on here? Where are they at? They're top performers, 8th in points. So, but I mean, William Sawalich jumped up 3 spots.
Yeah.
And Brent Cruz, we knew he missed races because he wasn't old enough. So he's starting from the hole, but he's up another spot.
He's already looking good though.
So yeah, I expect to see a bunch of Toyotas start climbing the ladder here pretty soon as Joe Gibbs Racing wakes up as we get into the meat of the season here.
Yeah, agreed. Rough day for Jeremy Clements. He spun quite a few times during this one. 23rd in points for Jeremy Clements, so not the start to the season that 51 team had. We know that they can run well. They can run clean, but that is not what he needed because I think every race matters, especially for this 51 team because it's a family-grown team, and they just fight their hearts out every week.
For sure. Every once in a while, Jeremy Clements will show up and hit it and run really well, but of late, he hasn't been performing too good, but he is a staple of the Xfinity Series. You need teams, you need people like Jeremy to fill out this field, and they can show life and they can show competitiveness and whatnot. So it's tough to see a classic driver at a classic track struggle.
Yeah, definitely. All right, and then we were talking about the young Joe Gibbs Racing talents, Brent Cruz and William Sawallish. They were just duking it out during the final half of this race here. It was just really cool to see both these
Yeah.
boys go at it together. And I was like, wow.
Whose decision was it to put 2 tires on that 19 car? It made 0 sense.
Yeah.
It made 0 sense in the context. There had to be some sort of miscue. It was just so odd. There were so many laps to go. They were in the lead. You need 4 tires. Like, they had plenty of time to change 4 tires, and that he had the car to do it. And it just they kind of screwed him over.
Yeah.
Uh,
That was
where
really
he end
disappointing
up?
to see.
Oh, he got a flat, didn't he?
Did he?
He got a flat towards the end. Yeah, he finished 26th.
Oh shit, that's right.
Yeah, yeah, because those tires were like 100 laps old on the right side or
Yeah.
something, like the left
Yeah.
side.
So they did it to themselves.
Yeah, they really did. So, but promising young driver. I watched him in person win at ARCA at Rockingham last year, and he came into the stands and was giving us high fives. It was awesome. So he's going to be a good kid. They're going to keep working him, and he's got the backing at Toyota. So
Yeah, just amazing to see what he was able to do behind the wheel of an O'Reilly car.
yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, let's take a quick look at O'Reilly points. Justin Allgaier, 126 point lead right now above Jesse Love. This guy is just absolutely on fire to start this season.
Yeah, Justin Allgaier is in the IDGAF portion of his career, I would presume. I mean, he said it. He was on the ARCA broadcast for a little bit. He goes, yeah, I'm just trying to enjoy myself now. I'm not trying to really go out there and set the world on fire. And we're having success, so it's really fun, and it's showing. I mean, he just goes out there. He's in great equipment, and he is a great driver, and he's just kind of showing everybody the ropes and showing them how it's done, how they need to be doing it. So good on Justin Allgaier.
Yeah.
For the great start. Hopefully he can keep it up.
Yeah, and Parker Retzlaff, I want to give him an attaboy, 9th in the standings right now. I mean, he's ahead of Hendrick Motorsports and Joe Gibbs Racing cars. That's a great accomplishment right now, and we know he's a good driver, and he's just able to outrun, the equipment that he's in right now. It's amazing.
Yeah, and everybody has said this about Parker. You ask some of the analysts, some of the veterans, and they're like, who to look out for in the Xfinity Series is Parker Retzlaff has all the talent in the world, it seems. So good for him.
Agreed.
I want to have you look down in 27th. Do you notice anything in 27th?
Nick Sanchez.
Nick Sanchez is the top performing Ford in the Xfinity Series right now.
Well, I mean,
I believe
there's only like 2 or 3.
Nick Sanchez is the only Ford on the entry list for Bristol in the O'Reilly Series this week. What is going on with Ford? Do they just have they fully leaned into the trucks run more like the Cup cars, so we're not really going to put money in the Xfinity? It's weird. You look down this list, you forget Ford is a manufacturer in the series.
Yeah,
it's very strange.
And I've even heard rumors, like on Reddit and Twitter and stuff, that AM Racing might be going under. They might close their doors during this season
or something. Yeah, it's very odd. The number 5, the Hettinger Racing is a Ford.
Yeah.
No, that's the only one. The 25 is not even on here
for the entry list.
Yeah.
So the AM Racing might have closed their doors already.
Wow. So Ford has completely bailed, but also you could maybe get one of these smaller teams to go make a pitch to Ford, and they could get some competitive money.
Yeah.
Go out there and do well. Get I don't know, what's the Brennan Poole car? The Alpha Prime cars. Get them in Ford.
Yeah.
And see if they can jump up the world. I don't know. It's just an odd thing.
It's just great. Like, do you think Ford is just not putting as much money into the sport anymore, or at least in the O'Reilly series? It's insane. Because, I mean, we still have, quite a few Ford trucks in the series. I mean, hell, there's a lot of Ford teams in the Cup Series, too. It's just weird to see only one entered into
Mhm.
this race from Bristol this weekend in the O'Reilly Series.
And like Ford has not been what it was since Penske left the O'Reilly series. So
No.
I don't know if Penske would lean back into the O'Reilly series if they had a prospect they were excited for, or maybe when you start seeing Joey Logano or I don't know, whoever start hinting that they might retire soon, that I'm like, oh, the Penske Ford's back in O'Reilly. They might be getting ready to replace them. It's weird because there's 14. You'd think that like RFK Racing would want to develop some drivers and
Yeah.
whatnot. You'd think Penske would want to have somebody just in case, but maybe Ford just doesn't see it as pertinent. You can develop drivers just the same in the truck series, and apparently the Arrow is more similar to the trucks than it is the O'Reilly. So
You have
for
seen
Cup
these guys
series,
make that jump.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
no,
mean Jose
that's the
Ramirez, but yeah, that's the other thing I want to point out. You just scroll down and you don't see Ford in the top 20. It's just got Chevys and Toyotas, and Gibbs isn't going to switch.
no
Your
way.
Motorsports and RCR aren't going to switch.
Yeah, Haas
Nobody
Racing
left.
just switched over from Ford.
Yeah, so the writing might be on the wall there. But Haas also isn't as big as it used to be, so maybe Ford wasn't going to dump a bunch of money into a team that wasn't going to be any good anymore.
We have seen Thorsport also switch from like every single team within a
Yeah,
span of like 4 seasons. So
yeah, you can't really trust Thorsport to be that. But I mean, you got Front Row in there.
yeah,
But Front Row's a good example of that. Is that look, they're truck and cup team. They don't even care about the
yeah.
O'Reilly series. They're not there. They don't need it. So
It's a shame
interesting,
to see.
interesting thing going on.
Yeah, gonna
Right
have
as we're getting
to
a new
keep an eye out for that.
manufacturer, right as we're getting a new manufacturer, another one's backing out of at least one series. So
Makes you think.
yeah,
Alrighty, well, let's take a quick break and when we come back, we'll be making our picks for Bristol this weekend, so stay tuned. Alright, guys, welcome back. We're going to be making our picks for Bristol for this upcoming weekend. We'll be starting off with the truck series. It's the Tennessee Army National Guard 250 laps, 133-mile race. Stages 1 and 2 will be 65 laps each, and the final will be 120 laps. Chandler Smith won last spring, and Lane Riggs won in the fall. Toyota tops the charts with 13 truck wins. Notables in this one, Corey Heim is back in that one for Tricon. Stenhouse will be in the 4 for Nice Motorsports. Kyle Busch will be returning in that 7 for Spire. Ross Chastain in the 45 for Nice. Christopher Bell in the 62 for Stuart Friesen's team. And Daniel Suarez will be in that 71 for Spire Motorsports. Tom, we have a stacked field full of Cup Series
Carson.
drivers.
Carson's in the 77 too.
Oh shit, that's right. He
That's
is
the
in the
whole list.
77. Yeah.
This is like the old days. This is awesome.
Yeah, we got a stacked field coming in here for Bristol for the truck race on Friday night. So, Tom, we're going to start off with you first, buddy. Who is your winner on Friday night?
Got to point at the sign. At least we can still win in a Spire truck. It only makes me a little bit sad inside. But Kyle Busch, in one of his few truck starts he's got left, I still want to watch him win.
There you go. All right, and I got to go with Corey Heim. I mean, you left him on the table
Yeah,
for me. Corey Heim. I
yeah,
mean, he's leading points right now, and he hasn't run 2 races of this season, so it's Heim time. He's good anywhere.
for sure. He's good anywhere, but he's not Kyle Busch at Bristol in a competitive truck. So we'll see. I mean, I still think of Kyle Busch School and Corey Heim on the backstretch at Pocono a couple years back.
Yeah, was a
And
few
yeah,
years
Corey
back,
Heim
but
was a bit younger, but
hey, the future
that's
is now, old man.
yeah. You could say that again. I
All
don't know.
right.
I still like seeing my guy win, so I'm gonna try to milk it up when I can.
Absolutely, man.
And I stand on business. I will pick Kyle Busch when it is feasible.
Dude,
Sometimes when it's not feasible.
I don't blame you, man. You want to pick your homer, that's for sure. All right, and then Nick's not on the show, but we are waiting for his pick, so we'll have that ready for you guys next
He
week. We'll let
keeps
you know.
winning.
He keeps
He keeps
winning.
winning, so he gets to pick last every time. He
Yeah,
somehow still keeps winning, so whatever.
not fair. All right, well, let's move over to Saturday for the O'Reilly series. We got the Suburban Propane 300 laps, 160 miles. Stages 1 and 2 are 85 laps each, and the final will be 130. Larson won last spring, and Eric Almirola won last fall. Chevy tops the charts with 38 wins at Bristol. They're pretty damn good here in Eastern Tennessee. And some notables here, Connor Zilich is back in that 1 for Junior Motorsports. Kyle Larson will be in the 88 for Junior Motorsports. So, Tom, you are up first again, my friend. Who is your pick to win on Saturday night?
Yeah, it's hard to go against Kyle Larson in a Junior Motorsports car. So if he's on the table, I got to snatch that up.
Yeah, agreed. I'm gonna have to go with Justin Allgaier. I mean, he's been the top dog this year. Go figure, he's probably going to run like shit on Saturday when I'm picking him because I've just been horrible in the points so far this year. But
That's what
Allgaier,
happened to me last year.
he has been old reliable for us while we've been doing points the past year. So got to go with old reliable number 7.
For sure. I mean, even if he has a bad day, they're going to figure out how to make the most out of it. So,
Yeah.
I like it. It's a good pick.
All right, and we'll be waiting for Nick's pick, but let's move over to the Cup Series race with the Food City 500. We've got a 500 lap race, 266 miles. Stages 1 and 2 will be 125 laps each, and the final will be 250 laps. Kyle Larson won last spring, and Christopher Bell won in the fall. Chevy, 47 wins here in the Cup Series at Bristol Motor Speedway. Damn impressive. And so I'm going to be going first. And man, I love this track. I love it so much. But I got to go with Kyle Larson. He's just so good here. I mean, Hendrick Motorsports as a whole is really good at Bristol Motor Speedway, especially in the spring race. Yeah, and he's going to be running the O'Reilly race as well, so he's going to have a lot of laps under his belt for this weekend.
For sure. He'll be getting a good feel of the track. And it's been a while since he last won. You know, he's itching to get back in there. I think this is coming up on 1 year since we've seen Kyle Larson in victory lane. Go figure. After we watched him win 10 races in a season.
Yeah.
So it's a great pick.
All right. Nick will be taking Ryan Blaney. That's another great pick at Bristol Motor Speedway. Ryan Blaney is one of those funny ones. He leads so many laps at Bristol, but something catastrophic always
Yeah.
happens. I think it was like the 2017 or 2018 Bristol Spring Race, and he was leading like 200 laps, and then we just had like a lap car blow a tire and crash right in front of him and
hmm
ruined his day. He's just had so much bad luck here, but I really do think, yeah, he can turn it around.
Ryan Blaney is an interesting case study in NASCAR this year because he's so good and he seems to be the only guy that can consistently pass cars. But the reason his passing stats are so high is because his pit crew keeps putting him back in the field.
Yeah,
So it's hard for me this season to pick Blaney to win until I see that pit crew start improving.
agreed.
That's why I am going to go with the driver who, over the last 4 races, has the best average finish, and that'll be Christopher Bell, winner last fall. They'll figure it out, and they'll run well.
Yeah, I mean, Bell, he's always just such a good, consistent driver, especially at a track like this, too.
But we also have to look out for a couple things. Obviously, the new horsepower setup, lower downforce, more horsepower at Bristol, and there's a new tire that's going to be a little bit more predictable. It's not going to be on the knife's edge when you get somewhere around 60 degrees.
We'll see.
Which I think it's going to be in the 80s, so it'll be good. So I just hope the tire is not too hard and it lays rubber good. But interesting, it was pointed out that some of the better drivers of this package that we saw in the first couple races of this new package were Carson Hocevar, who's passing a lot of cars at Darlington. Austin Cindric was running really well at Darlington. And then could this be the week for Ty Gibbs? Ty Gibbs is on a crazy top 10 streak right now. I think it's technically a top 6 streak. But I mean, he also runs really well at Bristol already, one way or the other. So maybe Ty Gibbs could come out and get his first win.
Yeah, honestly, I think he would be one to look out for this weekend. Like you said, we've been seeing him in the top 5 in every single race this season.
For sure. For sure.
All right, well, I think that is a good place for us to end the show here, guys. If you haven't yet, make sure to like our video, subscribe to our channel, make sure to leave a comment down below who you think will win this weekend at Bristol, and make sure to check out all 3 races this weekend. That'll do it for us. I'm Ian Jordan.
I'm Tom Humlin.
And we'll see you guys next time. Enjoy Bristol.